So, welcome, Mr. G. It's great to have you here. How are you doing, man? Are you surviving lockdown?
Yeah, I'm surviving. So, I mean, I'm not in the obituary column, so that's always a good day for me. I've got this poem and it's called Citizen G. So it's the idea of what does it mean to be a citizen. If my family is my nation, then how can I be a citizen? If my street was my nation, would its laws be written in a way we can understand, so we can shake our neighbors' hands, united so we can cease to fight our fellow man? If my nation is my borough, would its focus be thorough? And how would we view others who we don't see as brothers? Or should I claim my city? Amidst the grimy and gritty, concrete streets could I seek to find that which uplifts me? Now what about my country? Isn't that where my love's supposed to lie? But strange wars have been fought in her name which historians can't deny. So can competition be confined to a football field? Or do graveyards have to be filled with patriotic zeal? Now what about my color? Doesn't that link me to another who shares the same struggle, my sister, my brother? But who then belongs and who gets pushed aside with the others? Do we separate the grades and shades to allocate who suffers? You see, we all seem to want to belong and just focus on our differences that are strong in us, so we look for groups, one to identify me, so I can wave my flag high and let it fly free, so I can cheer my team on by that I feel defines me. Whether it's right or it's wrong, it dignifies me. But my group can't be too big. And it can't be too diverse because I want to feel that I'm elite, not common and cursed, because my group is the best group and no man can test group. If you're north, then I'm south. If you're east, then I'm west group. It's difficult for us to imagine there's only one human race. So we like to cling on to our divisions and exhibit our hate. Maybe one day we'll listen to the wise men who say, we don't own Mother Earth. Mother Earth owns us. And everybody here is like an immigrant on a temporary stay. Thank you.
Let's hear some applause for Mr. G. Surely everyone can.
Brilliant. Thank you.
It must be kind of weird to not see your audience too.
Really weird.
Yeah, because it's just like you're just entertaining your own laptop, and honestly, you're not. There's like 45 of us here all listening on every word, man. So that was really cool.
Tomorrow we can all on the camera.
Does everyone want to leave their cameras on this time, and we'll see if the bandwidth doesn't get buggered up, so we can give Mr. G a bit of silent feedback.
This is amazing. He touched me from inside and reflects my thoughts in a beautiful way.
Oh wow! Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so this next poem, this is the one that like I guess got me friendly with Satish. Is believe it or not, it actually started off about relationships. It's meant to be an argument between a man and a woman, but then the concept got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it turned into the way in which man mistreats Mother Earth. So this poem is called A Drop in the Ocean. If we can take one drop of water from one drop of rain, we can see one drop of disorder that charts a planet's pain. If you look within a single grain of sand, you can see the quickening desert that expands as it brings its own future plans that extinguishes all the land. The greenhouse emissions form grim tales for predictions. The hills have their own eyes as they realize the futility of our position. There's a futility in our expense. There's a futility in our pollution. There's an instability in our conclusions that offers no improvement on solution. Can we have a single molecule of oxygen that's uncorrupted by the toxicants? Isn't that the building block of our children's stock to be able to breathe air freely and not be coughing up? Can we chart a solitary snowflake, cast its carbon foot on Swan Lake, yet the warning of global warming is only courted when the storms break? We only take heed when the typhoons hit and the hurricanes blitz and the sea levels rise and fresh water runs dry. Amazon forests die and landfill sites pile sky high, but somewhere amidst all the lies you can hear Mother Nature cry. Don't forget that this planet has its own biological clock. Nothing lasts forever, so don't demolish the lot. If life is indeed to be treasured, then let us treasure what we've got. For remember that all life started from just one precious drop. Thank you.
Yeah. Wicked, man.
Okay, I'm gonna do two more. 'Cause I don't want to overload you with too much poetry, because there's only a certain amount you can take. But also, just to let you know that that poem was also a drop in the ocean. It was also influenced by a William Blake line, where to see the world in a single grain of sand. So I know there's some Blake fans they'll register that as a reference. So this next poem is it's based around the idea that the most popular bird in the UK was voted to be the red robin. And I've always liked robins. I've always been a big fan of them. And so this poem is an imaginary conversation between two robins that occurred outside my balcony. And so the poem is called To the Birds. Two red robins awoke early one morning, father and son sharing a moment of calling. In the magical hours between dewdrops and dawn, when all is calm with the world. Said son to father, Dad, why do we sing and puff up our chests and limber up our wings, when it seems to me to be a bird is but a lowly thing, when man is in charge of this world? He builds a nest so high that it can make love to the sky. He wears feathers in all shapes and all colors and sizes. His wings are invisible, but yet he can fly so high. So why should we sing in this world? Said father to son, yeah, man indeed is strong. He has the pride of a peacock and the grace of a swan. He even goes little cuckoo when the weather goes wrong, for he believes that he's in charge of this world. He puts a feather in his cap as he tries to rule the roost. But whenever he gets scared, he feels the bump of a goose. Because we used to be dinosaurs, and that's the truth. And my son, that's why we'll always sing in this world. Thank you.
Awesome. That's getting a lot of love, I think. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, this is gonna be the last one, and this poem it's inspired by Martin Luther King. Obviously, like the events of the past 2 weeks has brought a lot of the racial injustice that occurs in the world to the forefront of people's mindsets. And I've always been a big fan of Martin Luther King, in the sense that I've always seen him as a person that had a great burden on his shoulders. Like everybody, he wasn't a perfect man, but he rose above his imperfections to try and take on the idea of freedom, justice, and equality for mankind. And so this poem is inspired by the last speech that he ever gave. He gave a speech where he says, I've been to the mountaintop, I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. And so this poem isn't necessarily based on the idea of being at the top of the mountain. This poem is imagining Martin Luther King being at the bottom of the mountain. And so I guess it deals with the mountains that we all have to climb and the obstacles that we all have to overcome. So this poem is called Go Tell It on the Mountain. I caught the falling feather of an angel's wing, and I wanted them tattooed upon my spine. Now you can call me a devil or a demonic thing. Who cares for names if I can fly? Who cares for names if I can rise and claim what's rightfully mine, beyond the foot of this crooked mountain which casts a haze upon my life? You know it's impacting how I'm living. You know it's exact and unforgiving. It traps my soul within a box and holds a lock to my upliftment. I just want to float away so high. I just want to break the color lines. I want to break the minimum wage and slavery, break the cannons, guns, and knives. Then I can escape the prison time, escape the trips to courtroom trials, that I can rewind the school exclusions when daddy leaves and mummy cries. Am I wrong to want to escape this plight? These angel wings give me insight. They levitate my mental state to leave these shackles far behind, but fallen wings leave scattered feathers. And I tried my best to just collect them, but they were spread oh so far apart, to unite them all would take forever. So I gathered just what I could, looked to the stars from where I stood, that I could leave behind this mountain, behind this city, behind this hood, behind this street, behind this road, behind this path that leaves me cold. I'll fly so high they'll never find me, I'll never go back to the days of old. But as I flap and flap and flap, there are no wings upon my back. There is no magical levitation, and my puppet strings are still attached. I raise my eyes up to the sky. I look way beyond this mountain high. I look to the heavens and just ask why this world won't get off my back and let me fly. But I'm stuck at the bottom with my regrets, with that single feather that I now possess. One day we'll reach that mountaintop, but we'll have to do it step by step. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Yeah. Bless. That was perfect, Mr. G. That was so cool, man.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much, everybody.
That's super cool. Thank you for dropping in. Honestly, like after everything we've heard today, that's just like the icing on the cake. It's really cool.
Well, thanks.